You ever stop and think about how a single day on the calendar could, hold the key to the technology you use every single second? Well, today, we're going to dig into how one specific date, December 6th, secretly built the phone that's probably in your hand right now. So, what does an exploding rocket, a forgotten logical genius, and a music piracy lawsuit have in common? The answer is actually pretty wild. They all happened on the exact same day, December 6th. And believe it or not, every single one of these moments played a crucial part in creating the device you're holding. So, for our first story, let's jump in the time machine. We're going back to 1957, and trust me, the pressure is on. Okay, so picture this. The Soviet Union had just shocked the entire world with Sputnik. America was scrambling to catch up. So on December 6th, all eyes were on the Vanguard TV-3 rocket. This was supposed to be it, America's first satellite. But the reality, well, the rocket lifted about 4 feet, sputtered, and then just collapsed into this massive fireball, right there on the launch pad for everyone to see. Oh, man, the failure was so public, so embarrassing, that the media just had a field day. Newspapers immediately started calling it Kaputnik and Flopnik. It was a total national disaster. But here's the incredible part. This epic public failure, it wasn't the end of the story. In fact, it was the ultimate catalyst. It was the spark that lit the fire. Think about this chain reaction. That humiliating explosion led to a massive flood of U.S. investment into space tech. This directly led to the creation of NASA. And just a few months later, Explorer 1 successfully launched. It's a perfect example of a huge public failure forcing a game-changing comeback. And this is why it matters to you right now. That whole space race, which was really kickstarted by that one failure, gave us all the incredible satellite technology we just take for granted. We're talking about the GPS that tells you where to turn, the super accurate weather forecasts on your screen, and, the entire satellite network that makes our modern world even possible. All right, now for the second piece of our puzzle, the logic behind everything. Let's talk about the invisible architect of your entire digital world. Our next story starts way, way back on December 6th, 1907, with the birth of a man named J. Barclay Rosser. Now, he didn't invent some gadget, but his mind would literally shape the fundamental rules of all computing. Rosser was a mathematical logician. Okay, I know that sounds super complicated, but think of it like this. Mathematical logic is basically the rule book that allows computers to think. It's the blueprint for algorithms, the thing that lets a machine solve problems. It's the language of how computers work. Period. His work is the definition of a behind-the-scenes innovation. It's the invisible foundation that almost all modern software is built on. Without it, the apps you use every single day they couldn't exist. Seriously, without the foundational logic that guys like Rosser came up with, so much of our world would just vanish. Your phone's operating system? Gone. The AI assistants you talk to? Wouldn't work. Those incredibly complex video games? Nope. Even the recommendation algorithms that decide what you see online, it all runs on these core principles. All right, let's jump forward in time to a much more recent and way more disruptive December 6th. This is about the lawsuit that changed music forever. This was the day the digital music war really began. On December 6th, 1999, the Recording Industry Association of America, the RIAA, sued this small, disruptive company called Napster. The battle lines were drawn. On one side, you had the old guard, the RIAA, trying to protect digital copyright. And on the other, you had Napster, this revolutionary service that let millions of us, people, swap music for free. It was a cultural explosion. Now, even though the lawsuit eventually shut Napster down, it kicked off this huge legal brawl that completely changed the music industry. It forced them to adapt. This led straight to the rise of legal digital downloads, like the iTunes Store, and eventually paved the way for the streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music that completely dominate our lives today. But the shockwaves went way beyond just music. The Napster case fundamentally changed how we consume all digital media. It set the rules for everything from movies and TV shows to news and podcasts. Okay, so let's bring this all together. We've just walked through 3 totally different stories, all from the same day, all leading to one device. Just look at how neatly these December 6th events plug directly into your phone. That Vanguard failure, it gave us the satellite tech for your GPS. J. Barclay Rosser's birth, it gave us the computing logic that runs your entire operating system and every single app. And that Napster lawsuit? It created the entire digital media model that puts Spotify and Apple Music right in your pocket. It's pretty incredible when you actually think about it, right? That little supercomputer in your hand isn't just a piece of glass and metal. It's a meeting point, a convergence of dramatic failure, quiet genius, and massive cultural disruption. And that kind of leaves us with one last question to chew on. What modern day failures or quiet breakthroughs that are happening right now are secretly building our future? What's the next December 6th?